IIFL Finance zooms more than 10% after it receives the Reserve Bank's nod of them lifting restrictions on the company's gold lending business. This comes after a 6-month ban on the company for sanctioning gold loans.
Meanwhile, the news of relief for IIFL Finance for their gold loan business has negatively impacted competitors like Manappuram and Muthoot Finance. Both stocks are down in the red.
ITD cementation zooms nearly 17% following reports that the Adani Group is set to acquire the promoter's 47% stake in the company.
Indostar Capital Finance has zoomed over 5% after the company's board approved the sale of its arm Indostar Home Finance to EQT for 1,750 crore rupees.
Reliance Infra climbs 10% after the company's board approves a fundraise of up to 6,000 crore rupees via a QIP and preferential issue of shares.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Chartbusters here on CNBC-TV18. I'm Hormus Fatakia. With me is Manglam Malu. And Manglam, after the first hour, when the Nifty played out the swinging ball, it seems like the wicket has eased out and we're moving to new highs.
We're moving to new highs, and how? We're very close to the 25,600 mark on the Nifty itself. The Nifty Bank, 53,400. It was perilously close to its record high yesterday. Today has gone out and, hit it out of the park, so to say. And to use a test match analogy, yesterday was the day where one was looking at the ball moving on, both sides, either directions. And now, once the reaction was out, the response of the market has become visible. We saw that on Wall Street overnight, and that's reflected in our markets as well. The market breadth does extremely well. So we have 1,600 stocks advancing for about 700 stocks, which are, on the obverse side today, which is quite a positive thing, largely because of the adverse reactions that we've seen in the market breadth, in particular, over the last 4 trading sessions. But, who's to say this is that kind of market and this is that kind of a game where even Ashwin goes ahead and hits a century at a time when Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill don't do well.
Absolutely. And that's been the case, right? The Nifty was doing well. The Nifty Bank in the last 7 sessions has gained almost 2,500 points. So it shows the kind of move that the banking heavyweights have contributed to this recovery in the Nifty Bank. Now 53,400, almost 53,433 is the new high on the Nifty Bank that we made this morning. But good time to get in a technical check as well. Manas Jaiswal is joining us this morning. Manas, good morning. Thank you for joining in. Well, it does look like the Nifty is positioning itself for 26,000 by the end of this series. Does that look like a probability now?
Good morning. So you are absolutely right, because the next target for Nifty should be 26,000. Because I think we have seen some consolidation, but now Nifty is ready to run again. I think even at current levels, one can take a long position. Nifty is continuously taking support at 10-day moving average. So keep your stop loss below 25,400. Take a long position at current levels, and target would be around 26,000 on Nifty. However, if you're talking about the stronger index, then I think Bank Nifty is looking more stronger than Nifty, because the Bank Nifty has given a fresh breakout. After this breakout, you can see almost 1,500 to 2,000 points rally on Bank Nifty. So positionally, I think you can take a long position in Bank Nifty, keep your stop loss below 52,800. And now the new target would be around 55,000 on Bank Nifty. That is positional call.
55,000 on the Nifty Bank, positional call. A lot of stocks doing extremely well as well this morning. Manas, what's on your list?
So most of the auto stocks are looking very strong on the chart. So I would like to go with the M&M, because we have seen some consolidation, but now since M&M has given a fresh breakout on the charts, one can take a long position here. The stop loss should be around 2820, and here the target would be around 3,025. So here one can take a long position. Second is from mid cap, I think one can look at IEX, because stock has been making higher tops and higher bottoms from the level of around 190. But now since stock has given a fresh breakout, take a long position here. The stop loss should be around 226. However, your target would be around 240.
IEX and M&M are the stocks that you've recommended. They'll come up for our viewers on the screen as well. But Manas, just before we let you go, I wanted your thoughts on the metal space. Metals are doing extremely well today. Typically, after Fed rate cuts happen, commodity-facing stocks continue to do well. The hope is that maybe commodity prices will increase as well. We're seeing that on a couple of these, non-integrated players. We have JSW Steel, which has moved higher. Tata Steel is holding mildly in the green, but a lot of these stocks doing extremely well. Do you have any chartical call on them?
I think if you want to trade in metal counters, then I think you have to be very much selective, because Tata Steel is moving sideways. many more metal counters are moving sideways. But look at JSW Steel, look at Hindalco. These two stocks are looking strong on the charts. I think one can definitely go long in JSW Steel, where stock has been making higher tops and higher bottoms from the level of around 860. And today's stock has given a fresh breakout on the charts with great volumes. So I think one can take a long position here. Stop loss should be around 959, and one can set the target of around 1025 for JSW Steel.
One final word on Vodafone Idea as well, Manas. After yesterday's fall, very distorted looking charts now, I guess.
I don't want to comment on Vodafone Idea because I think technically it is very difficult to take a call on Vodafone Idea because it is news-driven stock now.
Understand that completely. You know, Manas, we have no reason to speak to you for so long, apart from the fact that you seem to be a good luck charm for the market. When you started, you know, the Nifty was closer to 25,587 or thereabouts. Now we've seen a big zoom on the way up. Seems like a bit of a melt up, just a vertical rise. 25,650 on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank very close to 53,500. Just when we started the show, we're looking at it closer to 53,400. So it's been a big surge. And what has led this surge? It has to be the heavyweights. HDFC Bank, just look at, you know, the way that stocks moved higher. Look at ICICI Bank, that continues to do well. The other heavyweight, we have Reliance, which has moved to the high point of trade as well. So all of them doing well, batting for the bulls. ITC doing equally well in today's trading session as well, has recovered from the lows. So all these indices doing extremely well, of course, led by the banking heavyweights, which are contributing a majority share of the index gains today on the Nifty Bank, and as a result of which on the Nifty as well. 25,650 is here, Hormas.
Oh, well, it's a fabulous move. It's a fabulous Friday, if you can call that, for the markets. Then, of course, yes, HDFC Bank and ICICI leading the index higher. But shifting focus to our special segment where we get you a few ideas for profit from Money Control Pro, Neha Dave now joins us today to talk about a stock that she is tracking very closely.
Today's stock idea is 360 ONE Wealth and Asset Management Company, which is one of the largest wealth manager in the country and is one of the key beneficiary of the structural growth seen in the wealth management industry. No wonder the company reported its highest ever quarterly profit in Q1 FY25, even after providing for an exceptional expense. Earnings growth was aided by strong growth in assets and healthy net inflows. Thanks to booming capital markets, there was a significant rise in the transactional income, and that turned out to be a key driver of profit in Q1 FY25. While the assets under advisory, distribution and management cumulatively stood over rupees 5 lakh crore as of June end, the management's focus is on growing the assets that earn recurring revenue. Consequently, recurring revenue constituted around 63% of the company's total revenue in Q1 FY25. High proportion of recurring revenue enhances earnings visibility and is likely to hold the company in a relatively better state in a volatile market environment. The company's core segment, consisting of ultra-high net worth clients, is likely to see the highest growth given the K-shaped economic recovery after the pandemic. The company has also entered into the mid-market segment consisting of HNI clients and has forayed into global markets. Both of these segments are likely to go live in the current fiscal. The recent acquisition of ET Money will give the company the presence in the mass market. Now, talking about the valuation, the stock is currently trading at around 34 times earnings estimated for FY26, which is definitely rich. However, the premium valuation is justified given the strong business fundamentals, tangible return on equity of about 30% and good visibility of earnings growth. Long-term investors should keep this stock on their radar.
All right, we're speaking about the market itself, you know, can't take your eyes away. Once again, the market's moved with a lot of gusto. The chart of the Nifty comes up for you. All-time high for the frontline indices. The Sensex gone ahead and scaled 84,000. So we were celebrating when the Sensex hit that 80,000 mark. 84,000 has come in quick succession. The Nifty Bank 53,500. It's a 1% gain, and we're not done with more than 90 minutes of trades so far, Hormas. All these stocks are surging. You know, up until now, we thought the Nifty Bank was leading the gains. Yes, it was leading the gains, still leading the gains, but it's 9/10 0.2% higher as against the Nifty, which is 1% higher, which only explains that you have non-banking components as well contributing. And the largest contributor out there have to be Reliance and ITC. Reliance, with its big weight, still about 8% away from its record high, while the frontline indices are at their record high. So just keep an eye out on that one. HDFC Bank as well, 4% away from its record high, or 52-week high, not record high. For 52-week high for HDFC Bank is 4% away. So if these two big boys can go ahead and hit their 52-week high, record high for Reliance and 52-week high for HDFC Bank, then who's to say 26,000 could be very close. Right now, we've had just ICICI Bank hit that record high mark, and as a result of which, we've seen the fireworks in the overall market.
The way we are going, it won't be a surprise if that might just end up happening today itself. But yes, ICICI Bank, the frontline batters may not be in form for cricket, but the frontline batters for the Nifty are definitely in full form. ICICI Bank up for the 5th straight day today, up 12% now in a month, and shows in the Nifty Bank as well in today's session. Other contributors though, Mahindra & Mahindra and L&T and Maruti Suzuki also contributing to the upside for the index. Continuing our focus on the markets, but right after this short break. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Welcome back. Well, the market is the news of the day. We have almost 1,000 points on the Sensex. A bunch of stocks are doing extremely well as well. IIFL Finance is one of them. Ritu's been telling us this since morning that, there is positive news out here with the Reserve Bank actually lifting all the restrictions on the company's gold lending business. Ritu, tell us what it means for them. The street is clearly excited. The stock is up 10%. You've been at it since, 7:30 a.m. today?
Well, yes, for the company, this is big news because gold loan is a significant portion of their business, and for 6 months they were facing this ban, which is now finally being lifted as of yesterday, and that means that IIFL can now resume sanctioning, dispersal, assignment, securitization and sale of gold loans after a 6-month gap. Now remember, RBI had placed restrictions on them on the 4th of March to begin with because of material supervisory concerns, and those included things like loan-to-value ratio breaches, significant dispersals and collections in cash in excess of the amount allowed, and so on. There was a special audit which was instituted by RBI to look into these deficiencies. That concluded in June, and now finally the restrictions have been lifted. Now the impact has been felt very thoroughly by the company. For instance, their gold loan AUM that shrank from about 26,000 crores before the ban to less than half, in fact down 53% in just 5 months to about 12,162 crores by August. The share of gold loans in their consolidated AUM, which was about 32% earlier, had fallen to 21% as of the first quarter, and 1 million customer accounts were closed during this period. They also had to repay around 13,500 crores to banks, which is tied to co-lending and direct assignments. So the lifting of these restrictions removes a big overhang on the company and, of course, the stock. Jefferies has upgraded the stock to buy with a target price of 595 rupees. They expect a gradual recovery in the gold loan disbursements, which they expect to normalize in the next 1 or 2 quarters, though the loan book, they say, could decline further to about 9,000 crores by September. Now, while the recovery to ban levels may take some time, easing margin pressure and high gold loan prices could offer some support.
Good news indeed for IIFL Finance, showing up in the stock price as well, 9% higher now on the stock at 540. But moving on, Reliance Infra is the other one. That is the other stock that's up 10% today after the company's board approved a fundraise of up to 6,000 crore rupees through a QIP, a preferential issue as well. Vivek is joining in with more details on that. Vivek.
Well, that's right. In the past week, the ADAG group stocks, Reliance Infra, have been in focus. The company number one went ahead and did a deal with Edelweiss ARC, where they went ahead and extinguished all of the liabilities they had via the NCD issue from Edelweiss. Now, very interestingly, yesterday to the exchanges, what they've informed is that they've announced a fundraise, like you mentioned, via a preferential issue as well as a fundraise via the QIP route. Preferential issue of over 3,000 crore rupees, and the entities coming in are well-known investors. Number one, one entity is from the promoter group itself, which is Rising Infinity Private Limited. two non-promoter entities, amongst them Florentine Innovation, which is led by Matthew Syriac, and Fortune Financial and Equity Services, that is the other entity that has come in. Along with that, the company has also approved a fundraise via the QIP route of close to 3,000 crore rupees. So debt repayment as well as fundraise is something that's keeping Reliance Infra buzzing in the session today.
All right, Vivek, thanks a lot for that. That's about Reliance Infra. Has been doing extremely well today, not just today, but over the last few weeks as well. We've seen a big rally in that stock itself. But another stock which is doing well today, and this is ahead of the company's board meet, it is Mankind. And there's also an initiating coverage on the stock. Ekta joins in to tell us more. Ekta, the stock doing well?
Well, I'll start with the fact that there is a board meet today for Mankind where they are going to be considering fundraising. The board will approve fundraising via NCDs, commercial paper, debt securities or any other securities. Now, the fundraising, remember, is expected to be in lieu of the BSV acquisition, which was bought for a valuation of around 13,630 odd crores and is going to be funded via debt, equity, internal accruals. The company does plan to raise around 4,000 crores from internal accruals based on what they told us, and estimate around 70% of funding coming in from debt. They could also look to probably divest some non-core assets that they do have, such as 2 hotels under the Westin brand. Now, separately, Investec has written on Mankind. They've initiated with a buy and a target price of 3,300. It's their top pick. They've said that the BSV acquisition has potential to drive growth, according to them. BSV's specialty strengths, which is R&D and sourcing as moats, would further Mankind's vision. Now, the street underappreciates the specialty business moat of BSV, both in the near and the longer term. And BSV could scale new heights and potentially generate $1 billion in sales plus 35% EBITDA by FY32. They forecast an 18% EBITDA CAGR over FY24 to 27, and they're valuing Mankind at around 30 times September 26 EBITDA.
Ekta, thanks a lot for that. 3.5% higher. Mankind Pharma slightly off the highs of the day. But the Nifty above 25,650, Sensex above 84,000. Continue our focus on the markets right after the short break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back onto a special conversation that Shireen Bhan had with Salesforce India's chairperson and CEO Arundhati Bhattacharya, where she said that the Federal Reserve's aggressive move was reasonable considering the economic data print and higher rates. Listen in to a slice of that conversation.
Let me ask you a broader question as far as the global economy is concerned. We've just seen the Fed announce a 50 basis point rate cut, kickstarting.
Which was what the market was betting on.
The market was hoping for, and it's on the aggressive side. Do you believe that this is going to make a material difference now as far as the complexion of the global economy is concerned?
I definitely think so. You know, the Fed and what it says and what it does still has an inordinately large impact on economies of other countries. Okay.
Wall Street has already given it a thumbs up. So,
yeah. So Wall Street will give it a thumbs up. The general, in fact, yesterday I was with a few people, and I was saying that 50 basis points is what's going to come. Yeah. And they were saying the market wants 1. I said, come on, I said. You know, you have to be reasonable. You can't keep going up.
Expectations.
Yeah, you temper your expectations. Yeah. You can't do that. But I think a 50 basis points is, I think, reasonable, given everything else, given the fact that it has been kept high for a very long time, given the data print that has come recently. And definitely it's going to have a very good impact on the rest of the world economy.
All right, that's some word coming in on the world of fintech and artificial intelligence, but no artificial intelligence here. 25666, 53577 for the Nifty Bank and the mid-cap index. Hormaz, you want to show us your Friday moves? Come on, do that before we wrap up on this edition of Chartbusters. While Hormaz and I groove a little bit, you take a short break, and on the other side, we'll have the team of Trading Hour coming up next.